Quickfire questions
good.
to end. A question sent in on Instagram asking, who is the best player that you played with at Blackburn? Very specific question.
Played with?
Specific.
Yes.
Oh, right.
There's only one.
Is it Morton Gamps Pedersen?
No,
Oh,
it's not Morton, no.
Okay.
Sam will probably like the player that I'm going to mention. Morton was a fantastic player. And we had a good partnership down that left-hand side.
I managed him,
Yeah, he was very good. But hands down, two guy.
Oh, I had him two guy the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
When I said like we had two guy, he used to like a fag like you.
Well, we were playing. I mean, look, one of the best players I ever played with two guy was right. But we played Tottenham at the old White Hart Lane, and Mark Hughes was the manager, and we're doing a team talk before the games kicked off. And he's halfway through the team talk just before kickoff. After you come in from your warm, you go back in the dressing room, get your shin pads on, whatever else you're doing, the last minute thing, Sam, and everything. So he's gone, right, we know how we're going to win the game today. We've got to get the ball into Toogs. Toogs, you get the ball out to the left and the right-hand side, and then we'll get Craig Bellamy and, Benny McCarthy up front. We'll go and try and win the game. So we're all like looking around, a bit of a snigger and everything. Mark's went there. He said, Toogs, where is he? So as you come at White Hart Lane, there's the tunnel as you come off the pitch. And then you go past the two dressing rooms, which are left and right-hand side. Then there's a security little door on the right-hand side just after that. Yeah. He's in there having a fag before kick-off. Honestly, I'm not saying players or anybody should smoke or anything, but it was just like, we were laughing our heads off because we kind of knew where he was. But that's what he used to do in certain games at half-time and everything. He'd go and find this little room and have a cigarette. But he was our best player. Yeah. So you couldn't say anything to him.
Yep.
But what a player. Still not seen him give the ball away.
Blackburn stay up when I went there.
Yeah.
He was like, I thought Dunny was going to play a big part, but when I saw two going and he was in his, probably about 33 then, I think. Mm. But like, we didn't need him to run around. We just needed to get him on the ball. But
what a player.
But he was really,
I just really, wonder, really Sam, sometimes, I mean, Graham Souness actually said this because I think Graham bought him from Rangers. And he said, what surprised me most throughout the whole of his career, Graham's managerial career and everything, he said, nobody took two guy like a top four side at the time. Yeah. He said, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. He said, I knew how good he was. And like the speculation, you try and keep quiet about a certain player if you want to keep him. He says, but it surprised me that no one took him.
Next question that came in for you on YouTube. What are your memories of beating Manchester United 2-1 and getting the assist at Old Trafford for Blackburn? And do you remember Ronaldo in that game?
He remembers me, hopefully, Natalie. No, I do remember the game. Scholes, they tried to play out from the back, weirdly enough. Scholes, he tried to play a little 2-yard pass to Rio Ferdinand, I think it was. He was centre-half that day. And how I was in the 18-yard box playing left-back, I do not know. But me and Morton were on the left-hand side. And I could see he was going to play the ball to Rio. So just a reaction, that split second, I've nicked in and then just flicked it to the left to Morton. Weirdly, I know you're not going to see the goal, but if you see my celebration, it looks like Morton's hit the side netting from where I was. So I thought he'd missed. So I put my hands on my head like this. Yeah. And it was the 2-1 winner. Anyway, he's rifled into the top corner. He's ran off celebrating. I'm in the box like this going, oh, no. Anyway, that was the winner. But we did the double over them that season. Yeah. We beat them at home. We beat them in the cup. So we beat them 3 times, I think it was, in one season. Wow. And played against Ronaldo 3 times and beat him 3 times. What a stat that is, eh?
100% record against Ronaldo.
There won't be many clubs could brag that they beat Manchester United 3 times in one season. If ever.
I know.
If ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there might have been a few over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, there might have been.
But that team that they had at the time, I mean, you know what it was like. They took some beating.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had something going at Blackburn. I think we finished 5th in the Premier League that season. And we played UEFA Cup football 2 seasons after that. But that was incredible.
And Ronaldo got booked in the game for elbowing you.
I don't remember that. I honestly do not remember him getting booked. I remember asking Benny McCarthy at the end of the game, and I wasn't one of these players. Yeah. I said to Benny McCarthy, because I wasn't shy, but I just didn't like going up to players asking for shirts. I thought it was wrong. But I wanted his. I asked Benny McCarthy, who knew him, and I said, can you ask for his shirt? Anyway, I got his shirt at the end of the game. He signed it with all mud on the back on the 7. And Ronaldo still got it now. Amazing. Now that's my pension, that Sam.
Yes. That leads me on to another nice question, actually, that's come in. Somebody has messaged me on Twitter, on X, about this. Talking about having someone's match-worn shirt, Graham on Twitter bought one of your match-worn shirts for £450 in an auction. Then when he got the shirt home, he looked at it and it was an extra large.
Oh dear.
And he doesn't think you ever wore an extra large shirt.
Neither
so
do
now
I.
he thinks it's not real.
Well, firstly, he's been ripped off 450 quid. Extra large, no. I mean, you see the kits these days and they're all fitted and everything, Sam, aren't they? The shorts are perfect. And
they're a bit more baggy then,
we didn't get that choice.
No.
There was, before the season started, you want large, medium or small. That was it. I mean, you put your shirt on. I don't think I would have worn a shirt that size.
No,
I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... God, you've seen the Seven Dwarfs. You've seen Dopey, haven't you? That one that drags on. That would have been like that on me. So no.
Sorry, Graham. Bad news.
Yeah, sorry, Graham.
Okay, I've just got 3 quick ones for you to finish off. Is it true that Craig Bellamy used to travel to training in a helicopter?
He did.
Les Ferdinand did that a couple of times.
He told us that, didn't he, on this?
Yeah. Not every day, but Craig was obviously his family and everything were in Wales, and to get there and back on certain days, he just couldn't do. And Mark at the time, Mark Hughes, didn't want to give him that time off. So he said, like, how can I get home quicker? And Craig was on a big contract, I have to say, at the time. He did tell me how much the helicopter cost per day there and back.
5 figures?
It's a lot.
Yes, please.
It was 10 grand.
A day?
10 grand a day, there and back. So we trained. What wound us up and why it's probably become a story was, you know the training ground, Blackburn and everything. Yeah. So we all used to train at 11 o'clock. Most clubs train at 10:30. So we'd have a breakfast club, then we come in and we do our warm up 10:30 till 11 o'clock. And he wasn't there, and he got away with a little bit, Craig, because of Mark Hughes, Mark Bowen, Eddie, and especially they were all Welsh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just one day, I was saying, "Where's Bella's?" Anyway, we heard the old helicopter coming up, and we were training on as you come out the far right pitches, at Brockhall and everything.
Brockhall,
And he was landing. We seen the helicopter coming down and landing about 5 to 11, so he wasn't going to make 11 o'clock training. So we did an extra warm up so he could get changed and come and train with us and everything. I mean, we slaughtered him. Don't get me wrong. He got some stick, but like I said, he didn't do it all the time, but I can probably count half a dozen to a dozen times.
Michael Owen, Newcastle.
Same.
Yeah, that's right.
Same, yeah, very similar.
Wow. Okay, 2 questions left. This is a really random one. It came in on YouTube. And who am I to judge what you lot want to know? What are both of your favourite ice cream flavours?
Oh, I'll answer this boring vanilla, me.
Oh, you're kidding?
I love vanilla, yeah.
You're a boring vanilla fan?
Well, I just think everybody thinks vanilla's just... There's so many flavours now that, but it is... I've tried all the others, mint chocolate chip and all that stuff like that. Give me vanilla.
Do you have sauce on it or sprinkles?
No.
Wow, that is boring.
No. It depends where you go for your vanilla ice cream as well.
Oh gosh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a secret recipe in it. Edgeworth do with, we travel out and just drive up there to go and get their vanilla ice cream. Like,
you heard it here.
My favourite will be rum and raisin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very bougie.
Yeah, I like that. But I did go to Spain and Marbella. Where Sinatra's the bars on the corner, Sam. There.
Yeah. Do we not know all Sinatra's bar?
I've got a story about that.
We all know Sinatra's bar.
Yeah, and then there was a little ice cream shop on the corner, just round the corner from Sinatra's, and they did a Tutti Frutti. It's the only place I've ever had it.
Tutti Frutti.
It was tutti and it was fruity.
Thanks for that question. That was great. I enjoyed that. I like a sorbet. Okay, I enjoyed that. Finally, and the last question: what happened with Wayne Rooney in a Manchester restaurant in 2006?
So you're leaving the best to last, are you?
Is this the best to last?
It's not, because everybody just blows the story up as it goes on. It was right. So apparently, we were in a nightclub. We were at Blackburn and Man United. They came into the nightclub the same, and Wayne Rooney was there. There was 3 or 4 other players. Myself, Gary Flickroff, Stephen Reid.
Which nightclub was it then?
Oh, the one above Restaurant Bar and Grill, just below that.
Oh, right, okay.
I can't remember what it's called.
Panacea? I used to go in there a lot.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh,
So I was in there and we had the booth. So we had one booth, that Blackburn lads here and the Man United lads there. And we were young at the time and we were enjoying ourselves. There was lots of girls around.
I could just see it now.
Yeah. And I saw the Man United players and I leant over and all the girls there and I'll keep this clean. And he just went, I said, all right, Wayne. I said, which one are you having tonight? Right. Just normal conversation that we'd have. And not knowing that Colleen was one of the girls that were in the crowd next to him. So he didn't really like that.
I can
Leant
imagine.
over onto my table.
I can imagine he didn't like that.
And I got one in the eye, and that was pretty much it, Sam, to be honest with you. But then it came out, Gray asks Rooney and Colleen for a threesome and everything. It was a load of rubbish.
Oh, dear.
It was a load of
That's
rubbish.
A bit much, isn't it?
But I have to say, I woke up the next morning and I got... I came out my front door and bit of a drive, the gates and everything, and I looked across and I was on Lee Road. You know Lee Road in Worsley?
Yeah.
You know where the garden centre is.
Right,
so I was down there. So there's the road, then there's a bush on the opposite side of the houses. I've came out the house, or just about to come out the house, and there must have been 40 perhaps behind the bushes with the long lens cameras and everything. I thought, oh no, I've clearly done something wrong here. Hadn't seen the newspapers, obviously, because I was getting up to go to training at Blackburn. And went out the house because I knew I had a bit of a nick on my eye. So I put some glasses on, thinking I'm a bit of a celeb kind of thing. Got in my car, drove to the training ground. So I thought, right, great, I've got away from it. Gets outside of Brockhall Training Centre at Blackburn. There's another 40 people there wanting to speak to me and cameras and everything. So same thing, glasses were on. Got into the training ground and Mark Hughes was the manager and I said, Gaffer, I said, I need to come and see you. I said, I went out Saturday, told him that story. And I think his reaction was, well, you know, this is small Blackburn compared to Man United. He said, great. He said, we'll get a bit of publicity from this. And that was it. That was his reaction to it. Honest to God.
Sparky.
And that was it. But yeah, the story blows up over the years that this happened, that happened. It didn't. It didn't. Well, he did something. I did say what I said, but I didn't ask Wayne and Colleen for that.
There you go. You heard it here.
There we go.
And I've seen him since, and he's all right about it. My eye's not, but he is.
I had no idea what was going to come out after that story. It's
tried
the best
to keep that
sometimes.
As clean as I could.
Yes, yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
He probably had a few drinks to give him the courage to say that at the time.
There's better ones than that.
Oh, right,
we'll keep that for another time.
We need to invite you back on so we can get those. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Pleasure, really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Michael, thanks very much.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.